And now for the full press conference for Carmelina at opening night, talking to Andrea Burns, James Morgan making his welcoming speech, David Hancock Turner, Joey Sorge, Barry Harman, and Jim Stanek.
Here we are with Andrea Burns at Carmelina for Musicals and Mufti.
Yes.
Have you known this musical before?
No, I just came to know it just a few weeks ago and fell in love with it. It's a gorgeous score by Burton Lane and Alan J. Lerner, and I've fallen in love.
I know, it is a best score, but the story is kind of iffy. Do you want to tell us delicately about the story?
Well, this is the story of a woman who made the best decision she could to make sure her daughter had a legitimate name, despite the truth of her daughter's birth.
I kind of feel bad. I mean, so you were basically 17 years all alone. American soldiers stormed through,
yes,
and yet you're considered like, you know, the naughty woman when they're the ones that were really, you know, I mean,
I let them in the door and I let them stay, you know. But she was a woman who was lonely, and it's very clear that the three of them were loving and kind, and she took advantage of the situation. In the end, she wasn't taken advantage of. I think she took advantage and then made the most of it.
I always feel bad though. See, like 17 years go by letting her suitor wait for her. I mean, how, you know, after having such a wonderful experience at 17 to go 17 years without having something like that again, I mean, I was wondering, how does she manage?
She's a mother. Anything for her daughter. I think that's the bottom line.
It is such an interesting concept to come up with back in the 60s. I mean, when did they come up with this idea to begin with?
I think it was originally printed in a newspaper as a newspaper story, and then it was made into a movie with Gina Lollobrigida, and and then it became the musical, and of course, Mamma Mia based their musical on Carmelina.
I love that song, One More Walk Around the Garden. I cry every time I hear it.
It is a stunning song, and we have three wonderful guys. It's a treat to hear it every night.
Thank you very much, and congratulations. Oh, you're fantastic at it.
What's happened here over the past week, watching this show come together over these 2 days, the last 7 days, 5 days, whatever it is, for the third time, and watch it just grow and be more and more wonderful as we remember it, but even better with all the changes, and with this cast is worthy of a great toast of thanks and congratulations to everyone. So here. There are many people to thank, including this absolutely incredible cast. But let's start with Michael Leeds, our director. Come on up here and say something. It has been such a great pleasure working with you again on this show, and watching the care with which you put into it every moment, and sitting with you in the back just these last several performances, just tossing thoughts back and forth. It's wonderful having you here, and thank you very, very much.
You have a great team here.
I agree.
From the casting, from Jeff, all down the line, and the cast was terrific, so thank you all.
That's it. What about David Hancock Turner? David Page Turner. What you can sing?
What do you want me to say? I just had a blast doing this. I did this because I asked to do this one because I love Burton Lane's music. I kind of discovered it even before the Finian's revival.
I discovered Burton Lane.
I discovered him in my own head. I don't know. I just love the tunes. You guys heard them tonight. Hopefully, we're getting there with them. So I just can't wait to do it 5 or 6 more times or whatever we're doing. So thanks a lot.
Stage management, our incredible stage management.
Yes.
Oh, Barry Harman. Barry, come on up. Barry. audiences.
Did the talk back, wasn't that enough?
Yeah, it was very nice of you, but whatever.
I'd like to just thank first the cast. What a job you guys did. Beautiful, really. Thank you for making our songs sound as wonderful as they sound. I want to say three men who are not here tonight. Joe Stein, Bert Lane, and Andrea Lerner. You all did them proud. And I know they'll be very happy.
For being here, and I want to thank Jim Morgan and the York for bringing to life these beautiful musicals that many of us did not have the pleasure of hearing and knowing before. I know it's been a love affair for me this week, falling in love with this character, falling in love with the music, having the privilege to meet Elisa and Lynn last night, Mrs. Burton Lane, and Barry Harman, who I've been such a fan of for such a long time. So thank you so much. Thank you for doing this and making this happen.
Thank you for being so brilliant in this.
The people who are in danger of being unsung tonight are the York staff, who, as someone said, make it all happen, and they do. And from Kevin Maloof, our production manager, but all of the York staff who are here, who spent, instead of watching the show, they were here setting up the party and making things happen.
Thank
so
you.
Here's to all of you. Mr. Mufti. No, Mr. Mufti.
I got nothing. I'm just going to echo, he pulled me up here. I'm just going to echo what Andrea said. I come back here every time they ask me, or every time they're foolish enough to ask me, because it's so amazing to dust off these things that should not be put away on a shelf. So continue to support these shows over and over, and if there is somebody that you know that is not supporting the York, please make them.
Yes. Bravo. Here's to everyone. Thank you. Party.
Oh, here we are with...
Hey, David Hancock Turner, music director and pianist of Carmelina.
I love this score so much. I mean, One More Walk Around the Garden is one of the most classic, beautiful trio songs ever written.
Yeah, the song is incredible. I kind of came on this project because I'm in love with Burton Lane's music, Finian's Rainbow, On a Clear Day. I think there's something sort of magical that he was able to do as a composer that's very rare, and so that's why I wanted to do it. I wanted to dig into these songs, so yeah, it's been a blast.
And was there done anything to kind of update it and kind of smooth the edges of it? Because the story for today's sensibilities is a bit difficult for women to swallow, although personally I just love this musical so much.
Yeah, I don't know exactly about how contemporary it was, but the lyrics were redone in 6 songs by Barry Harman. He updated the lyrics in some cases, and there's also one new song that he wrote with Burton Lane. So it's sort of a mashup of Alan J. Lerner and Barry Harman lyrics to sort of come up with a brand new show that's quite, from what we've heard, sort of unlike the 1979 production. So hopefully it has that. Those original songs are still the same. A lot of them are the same. Someone in April, One More Walk Around the Garden, but then a lot of the other ones are sort of updated in a way.
What song was particularly done by Barry Harman and Burton Lane, though?
It's called Love Me As I Am, I think, what it's called.
When was that song?
At the end of the second act.
Okay, I'm trying to remember.
As I am, that one.
That's how good this is. I couldn't even tell which song was new. It fit in so beautifully.
I think so, yeah. It's just a really fun piece. The music is beautiful. The lyrics are great, they're smart, and the book is, I think, particularly tight and funny. It's just really funny. What more do
You also do the orchestration.
I did the orchestrations of this. I sort of do my own piano thing with a lot of Burton Lane in there because he's really good at jazz. He's a great jazz sensibility, and then we have an upright bass that I wrote out to give a lot of those romantic colors and a lot of swing as well. So, yeah.
Well, you did justice to the score. Because when my kid was 22 years ago, I would play this album for him as lullaby.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, no, I think Burton Lane's a genius. That's why I'm here. That's why I want to do it. I'm glad to be doing this at the York.
So here we are with
Joey Sorge.
And what did you do with, you played Vittorio.
Vittorio della Mate, yes.
Oh my goodness, you have a great accent.
Thank you very much. I'm Italian, so it comes naturally.
So, have you ever heard of Carmelina before, and what do you think about this production?
I've never heard of it before because I got the script Monday last week. I guess 2 or 3 days prior to that, I downloaded the album and heard the album. And I was completely mortified because I didn't think I could do it because it was really operatic, but that was a different version of the show. And now, Barry Harman and Michael Leeds, they've kind of re-engineered the show to be more suitable to, performers like me.
And you're so loyal to be in love with a woman for 17
years. Yes, yeah. It is, I'm just now starting to enjoy that. We've only done 4 performances, and so every show it's becoming more and more visceral for me. Yeah.
So what is it about Carmelina that has captured your heart for all this time?
Well, she's a respectable lady in San Farino, and there's just something, she's beautiful. Look at her.
You get no argument from me.
Yes, she's wonderful. So side note that Andrea, who plays Carmelina, and I go back probably about 20 years. So this is a homecoming for the 2 of us to get together and work. So it's really wonderful. Yeah. So it's not that hard for me to act, in other words.
It's sort of like art mirroring life, or vice versa.
Absolutely, yeah. We're good friends from a long time ago, and to be able to work together again, it's a real treat.
And it's such a wonderful score.
Oh my gosh, this score is beautiful. When I heard the album, I wasn't really sure about the score because I was more intimidated by the operatic quality of the music. But then when I started hearing all the other songs, I was blown away about how beautiful it is. It really is a beautiful score. Yeah.
And it's nice because you're sort of the tour guide and you show off the town, and you're like the everyman.
Yeah, I am, but he's also funny and charming, and he's in love. So, yeah.
This is a love song. This is a story about a love song.
It is.
For a love song.
It's time for a love song, exactly. And I hear that's one of Sondheim's favorite songs. That's what I heard.
I'm not surprised. Well, thank you very much. And here we are with
Barry Harman.
So you had the, I don't know if it's enviable or unenviable task of sprucing up Carmelina for the 2019 sensibility. Was that difficult?
It was a job to do that took us a long time to do. There's so many beautiful things in the show, but they didn't all cohere. And when I was first offered the position to do that, I was thrilled because of the 3 authors, to be able to work with legends, basically. I didn't know how hard the job was going to be. It took us a long time to do it. But every musical has its own life, and you have to find a way to either make it come together or not. What's been fun for this is that over the years we've seen it come together. So it's really been a process which very few people get to experience, where you get to every 10 years we've been doing it. So it's been a journey, but I think a good one. And I think I love watching the audiences respond to it.
It's such an amazing score. And the musical director was telling me the song that you interjected. I had to ask him. I couldn't tell. It's so seamless into the rest of it. You can't tell it was done now.
If you can't tell, then I've done my job well.
You sure have. And even the lyrics, I didn't even know the lyrics were different from before.
In certain cases, what I did was I would take a line of Alan's and build a song on that. Originally, there was a song called I'm a Woman. That was Carmelina's big song at the end of the show, just herself, and it didn't really work where it was. So we decided to take that idea and give it to the male lead and make it a song of seduction. But it still is Alan's essential idea, so I felt I was fulfilling his work, which I think is the job when you're brought in. Some people I want everybody to see my work, and I don't think that's the right way to go. So.
No, because I've loved this score for 20 years. I've loved this score. So I was thinking I would love to talk to Barry because I don't know where he is in this. Really, you're invisible.
Well, I hope I'm not totally invisible.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. No.
basically you want the show to work. You have to sublimate your own ego to making the show work.
It shows what a great musician, lyricist you are.
It's the job that you strive to do, whether in my own work or in a situation like this. I haven't really rewritten a lot of other people's work. I've done it in television, where I also work in, but not in the theater. Usually everybody wants their own voice. So this was a very unique situation because of that. It was also nerve-wracking when I had to go and talk to Alan and play him what we had done when he was still alive. Because basically it's saying, Alan, remember what you wrote? Well, here's how I improved on it. I didn't say that, but essentially that's what we were doing. Because he didn't want to continue writing with Burton. So in order to, everything had to be met with his approval. So, it was nerve-wracking, but it was very exciting. When he liked something, to me it was very flattering. There's one song on the show that I redid. It was called Love Before Breakfast, if you know the score. And we turned it into Love Me Tomorrow. And originally it was a song for the male lead, and we gave it to the female lead. And when we first played it for Alan, he actually started to cry. Because he was a very sentimental character. And he would cry at his own shows all the time. And I said, did we do something wrong? He said, no. He said, I was stuck on that moment. I never knew what to do with it. And you guys nailed it. Which was, to me, incredibly one of my happiest memories in terms of writing. Do you have enough yet?
Yeah, you can tell he's sentimental from One More Walk Around the Garden. That song kills me.
It's a gorgeous song. I think it's, in terms of Alan and Burton's collaboration, One More Walk Around the Garden, I think, is the pinnacle of what they did. I just think it's such a gorgeous song. And it's also a very personal song for Alan. Because his last relationship, his wife who was here this matinee, Liz Robertson, I'm not saying it was for her, but that's what he was looking for in his life. Was one more chance, to fall in love one more time. I forget how many wives he had, but it was quite a few. And, he was fairly old when he was writing it.
So he finally got it right with the last one.
She's a lovely lady. And she had never seen the show. And so we were nervous because, she's part of the estate. And they have to approve the show going forward. So she actually loved it. And she said, but there's a song that I sing in my act called Why Him, which is in the original show. And we had it in one of the versions, but it just stopped the action where it was. So Joe actually said we should cut it. So we did. And she goes, that's my song, you can't cut that out of the show. But she loved the show, so we were very pleased. She had never seen it. She said, Alan used to sing these songs to me, but I never saw the show until now. But she was very complimentary, and she really likes it, so it's good. So Annalisa Stein was here, and Lynn Lane was here the other night, too. Burton's wife. So they're all very supportive and they've been very helpful.
Well, congratulations. You really spruced up one of my favorite musicals.
Well, that's good. Hopefully it'll become other people's favorite musical, because I don't think enough people know it. It's the kind of show, I think there's a million theaters out there would love to do a show like this, knowing it worked. It's hard when, the original didn't work. There were some wonderful things in it, but it didn't really work. And this one is fun. It's much smaller, so, it's not a usually expensive show, which a lot of theaters can't do anymore. And there's good parts. Everybody in it has a lot to do, so it's good. So we're hoping that a lot of theaters will want to do it if we can get the word out.
Yeah, with
Jim Stanek.
in Carmelina, how many musicals and Muftis have you done?
This is my 7th musical in Mufti.
Lucky number 7.
I think I'm the record. I think I'm the record holder. I'm not entirely sure. There's a lot of debate about it, but you can come fight me if you think that you've done more than me.
So what are the 7? Which ones were they?
Oh, this is a tough question. Oh boy, Good Companions, Best Foot Forward, Saturday Night, Carmelina. Oh, I got 2 more. Oh, I don't know.
Well, everyone look it up. This gives you something to do. I have a task for you. Find out what the other 2 were.
Google it. Maybe you could tell me.
Oh, a Saturday night. That was a good one.
That Saturday night was the only one that I ever called Jim Morgan and called the offices here and said, please cast me in this, because I had understudied it when it was off Broadway at second stage, and with Andrea Burns and with Joey Sorge, and Donald Corrin played like the old time singer. And when I found out they were doing Saturday night, I begged them. I said, please, I will clear my schedule and I will come play the old time singer. And I got to. And it was a dream come true. And it was great.
New York makes your dreams come true.
That's right, they do.
And it's so nice to have Carmelina return. Every time it comes, it gets better and better.
That's what everybody keeps saying, that every time it's done, it gets better and better. And this is the third time. So now we just need to do a full production. So if you're a producer and you want to do a full production of Carmelina,
because it's such a great score.
well, it's a great score, but it's also it's just a light, lovely tale. It's genuine people, and it's about love, and it's about family, and it's about the long-lasting love. It's about lifetime love.
Loyalty.
There you go. I was looking for one other L word, and that's it. And it's this loyal love that lasts for so long, and I don't think we see enough of that.
And the charms of small town life.
Yes, which not everybody lives in New York City. There are small towns out there, and yes, it's this kind of sweet, genuine little thing that sort of, I think when you come, it's infectious. So that's why it keeps getting done, because it sort of demands to be done.
And it just makes you feel good. It just does, you know. And it's nice you don't sort of the ending isn't sort of resolved, so everyone kind of feels they have their own happy ending. The character.
Oh sure, but I can't top that. I can't top that. You're right.
I'm gonna have to say it delicately because you don't want to give it away. But you knew what I was getting at.
Yes. I didn't want to. No spoilers.
Well, congratulations, and I can't wait to see your 8th. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying your 7th.
Thank you very much.
7th heaven.
And the next will be the 8th wonder of the world.
Excellent. Thank you.